This was the hardest round of decluttering that I've done. I've decluttered some photos and memories, and that was really challenging. So, first of all, hi guys, this is Diane of Minimize to Maximize, where we minimize clutter so that we can maximize life and its fulfillment and enjoyment. And so, yeah, I thought I will share with you my experience decluttering photos. I have inherited a lot of analog photos from my childhood. And also over the years, I've been taking photos for 20 years, with digital cameras. And I used to print them. And I kind of still do, but not as prints. Now I do photo albums. But the prints take a lot of space. But what was challenging about this decluttering was the emotional attachment with some of these photos and these pieces of paper, little memorabilia. So I'm going to show you what I've decluttered and what I am keeping. And what spurred me to do yet another round of photo and memorabilia decluttering is because in September, well, like about a month and a half ago, we had some wildfires in our area, and our city, community was potentially threatened by the fires. So our family evacuated our home, and we put some distance between us and the fire. And before we did that, we took our most valuable papers and belongings, which was very little. But I asked my husband to take our legal documentations as well as our photos with him. So what he did do is take the legal papers and the photo albums, but he left behind my analog photos. All the photos from my childhood and from my young adulthood and the first years of my son's life. And I was like, okay, I don't think I'm ready to part with all of this. If a wildfire came to destroy my home, I would not want all of these photos to be gone forever. So I decided to digitize them so that in the event of water damage or flooding or whatever can happen to paper, at least I have them in a digitized format. And in the future, if I want to go and travel and be super, super light, like I used to backpack around the world by myself. So I took nothing with me besides the bare minimum. But if I did want to eventually not have any paper at all, no photos, nothing, then digitizing is the way to go. But I'm not ready to do everything in a digital format yet. But let me show you what I did digitized and why it was so important for me to do that. Give me a second. There are, there they are. There you go. There are photos of my parents and me in my mom's belly, and photos of little me. And these were not in a digitized format at all. My dad had printed them from the film, the photo film. And look at this little gal. So I have great memories, not so great ones as well in my childhood, but I have a lot of memories of how I used to be, and me with my mom, and there's some with my dad, and me doing some exercise, and those I want to keep. And I love the analog photos. I think the quality is really good. These photos were taken in the 80s, yeah. And they're still great. I mean, like on my Christmases. So I decided to digitize all these photos that I would not be able to have at all. And the way I did that is I went to my local library where they have a special scanner, and I was able to scan all of my photos and put them directly into my Google Drive. So that was pretty amazing, and it was free. So if you're looking to digitize photos instead of paying for an expensive service, maybe you want to look at your local library if they have that feature, that special scanner. It did take some time, but I was adamant that I wanted a digital format of my childhood photos. So those are definitely a keep. And I kept also a little bit of the artwork that I did as a kid, just these little pieces of paper and little things that I wrote. I kept. But still, I got rid of a fair amount. And let's go through it. Yes. There were one. There were also photos that kind of looked like duplicates, or they were a little blurry, or there were a lot of the same photos in the same category. So, like, for example, even though it's me and my brother, I had other ones like that. And, me and my brother and oh my gosh, I'm looking at those and I want to keep them all. And cousins. But I have enough. And there's also some drawings that I did as a kid. And when looking at them, it doesn't bring me that much joy. I only kept the ones that brought me the most joy. Same with the photos. Kept what was the most, like that kind of feeling, like, oh, that's nice. That's my favorite. Those I really want to keep. And so the rest, even though, I mean, this is amazing art, you must admit, I'm going to let go of those. These photos, these extra photos, I'm going to send to my parents, because I did ask them, always ask, and they said yes, that they would like some of the photos. For some reason, my dad gave all of the photos away and he has none left, apparently. So I'm going to give it back to him, because I have enough. So these are going to be gifts. In another category that was really, really hard for me to declutter was photos from the first year, 2 years, 3 years of my son's life. At the time, I printed all the photos. And I don't know if you remember having your first kid and having a digital camera with you. Well, you'd end up taking a lot of photos. So that one was really hard, because every single photo of him, tugs at my heart, and I'm thinking, oh, he was so cute. Oh, what a darling. But at the end of the day, I had to pick and choose my favorite. And so let me show you the ones that I'm going to let go of. Even though they are awesome. So there's me and my husband, and look at this cutie pie, and him with his grandpa, and look at this. Like, every single photo is adorable. And so that was really, really, really hard. I mean, look at this face. Come on. But these are the photos that are leaving, and those I'm going to recycle. Why? Because I kept only my favorite ones in analog format, in print. And the rest I took with a digital camera, and I've saved a lot of the digital photos. So even if the prints were to be destroyed or damaged in the future, I could technically reprint them if I wanted to. I have moved from prints to photo albums. I create one photo album per year, and within that photo album, everything needs to fit. And I did it a 5x7 format, which is rather small, and it's a thin soft cover, so it doesn't take too much space. And I do enjoy going through the photos like that, and my son enjoys them. But now as he's getting older, the photo albums are getting a little thinner. The first years, so many things changed. He was developing so quickly. So, yeah, photo albums for me still. Let me show you here some of the photos I'm keeping. Let's see. Oh gosh. Okay, this is one of my favorite. My son was like a day old with my husband. I love this photo. So beautiful. And yeah, this one. You can kind of see my breast a little bit, but not too much. It's okay. It's not too indecent. His first birthday, for example, that was special. And then, like family photos and, keeping those. There's so many more, but I'm keeping a big chunk. And I'm keeping things like this, like his little paw prints. Adorable. These are the original. I took a photo, like I digitized these things. And in the memorabilia part of my son's younger life, there were a lot of firsts, and I wrote everything down, everything that he didn't do, the first words, the expressions, the things he was into, and that changed so much. And I have so many pages about his life, basically. All of these are pieces of paper that I wrote about his life, the first 2 or 3 years, and it's got my first month, and month 7, month 8, month 24. Let's take one randomly. Happy day, Mama, is something he said. Funny, Daddy. Funny, Mommy. Purr, Doggy. Tasty. I'm coming, Daddy. These are things he said when he was 2 years old. I wrote it all here. So with all this paper and all these notes, I could be a journalist, really, of my son's earlier years. I digitized all of this. And so now I really don't have an attachment to the physical paper. So I am going to let go of those. And everything else is already on my G Drive, on my Google Drive. And so this goes bye-bye. And I'm not giving it to anybody because it's going to get recycled. And other things is like his first locks of hair I kept. There it is. I don't know. At the time, it felt like a good idea. And now I'm like, well, he still has hair. So it's okay. I'm going to let go of the old hair. And also one of the little prints that he made when he was very little. I don't even know what is top, what is bottom, but it was beautiful. But I took a photo and I don't need to keep it. And those we made, my husband and I, when we found out we were pregnant. So we painted those. And that was a gift to our son. I asked my son, would you like to keep those? And he said, no. So because the gift was given and he had it for the first few years, but now he's 9 and he doesn't feel the need to keep that. So it goes too. Um, yes. What else do we have here? And I have other analog photos, basically, of different parts of my life that and papers that all of this is going to go. I've digitized a lot of it, and I don't need to keep this. And here's what I found: my teeth. My grandma kept my baby teeth. That's from April 1990, and I opened it up, and it's gross. It really is. It's very sweet that she kept it, and I kept it for a few years, but it doesn't do anything for me. I'd rather keep some photos and see my face and my childhood in picture format than my old teeth. So what is it that we're keeping? Probably too much. All of this still. I'm still keeping all of this. But I would say it has also other things like cards. I've received cards. And I've decluttered a lot of it. I've received cards and yeah, it's mostly cards. And same thing, I'm going to digitize this, and I may let go of the paper format. But for the time being, because I love the quality of the analog photos, I'm going to keep them, especially the ones from my childhood and the first year of my son's life, because the quality is so very good. But if this was to disappear and to get damaged, I would be okay. And as I said, in the future, I may not want to keep any paper at all, any photos, any memorabilia, and everything will be digitized, and that and the memories, which are the most important. All right, guys, this was really hard for me to do, and interestingly enough, this is not the first round of photo decluttering that I've done, but this one was the hardest because I was looking at my childhood photos in the first years of my son, and all the things about it is so tender and filled with so many memories and experiences. So I'm gonna drink a little bit of tea. Take a breather, relax. You guys take your time when you're going through your photos. Maybe let go of the ones that are blurry and that look like duplicates of the same scene, and try to combine all your photos in the same area. So photos and memorabilia for me is just one, it's just this. And I have those thin photo albums as well. So I'm working on it, guys. It's not a fast, easy process, but I have some gifts that I can give in terms of photos for my parents. And I also have a lot of paper clutter that is leaving my house for good. All of this is going. Thank you for hanging out with me, for visiting, and let me know in the comments if you've tackled your photos, your sentimental items from your childhood, or maybe your kids early years. This is hard. The adult stuff is easier, has been easier for me, but those younger years are yes, it's been challenging, but it's been good. I am glad I've done it. And it's every time I do a round of decluttering, I feel like I'm peeling layers of an onion, and I'm getting closer and closer to simplicity. It really is a process. It's not like a magic wand and poof, that's it. You are clutter free. You are light and forever. No, I keep on changing. I keep on hovering between wanting to acquire more and keep and wanting to let go. But at the end of the day, the letting go of what no longer serves me is winning. And this muscle I'm training over and over again, and it feels easier with every round of minimizing that I'm doing. So I hope this is helpful for you. Keep up the good work. I know it can be a very long process for some of us, um, but just do a little bit at a time, and bit by bit, you will see how more light and free and how much more space you have and more time you have for the things that you really care about. Take care, guys, and thank you for hanging out with me. I will see you in the next video.